start with story number 1. Story 1. The Pizza Man's Twilight Terror. A chapter from the past, back in a time when the skies bore the tempestuous weight of nature's fury and I, a humble pizza delivery driver, navigated the stormy waters of a peculiar night. It was an unspoken truth that, when the heavens rumbled and the rain fell in torrents, an unrelenting hunger for delivered pizza would seize the hearts of the masses. Whether snowstorms or thunderstorms, the allure of piping hot comfort in the face of inclement weather was a siren's call no one could resist. Some would jest that wagers were placed on whether the valiant delivery drivers would defy the odds and triumph over the elements, emerging victorious but drenched. In the tapestry of these tales, one peculiar delivery stands as a testament to the mysterious dance between man and nature. The night in question unfolded beneath the ominous embrace of a thunderstorm that painted the world in shades of ebony and silver. I ventured forth into the relentless onslaught of wind and rain, armed with a cardboard vessel cradling a pair of pizzas, an offering of warmth and sustenance amid the tumultuous symphony of the storm. Guided by the pale luminescence of lightning, I embarked on a perilous journey through the torrents. The windshield wipers fought valiantly, yet visibility remained an elusive specter, veiled by the capricious veil of rain. The world beyond the glass existed in fleeting moments, each blink of illumination casting shadows that danced like phantoms in the night. As the distance between me and my enigmatic destination shrank, I was greeted by an address I had never before encountered. A house nestled within the shroud of darkness, its silhouette etched against the canvas of the storm. A gust of wind almost whisked the very pizza from my hands, as if nature itself sought to partake in this cryptic transaction. Despite the odds, I persevered, clutching the box like a talisman against the elements. With a sense of purpose, I tread through the maelstrom and reached the portal of the unknown dwelling cloaked in obscurity. The darkness clung to the structure, a shroud that whispered secrets yet to be unveiled. In a time preceding the convenience of online transactions, I braced myself for a potential prank, a gambit orchestrated by mischievous souls, eager to manipulate the weathered elements for their own amusement. The porch, a solitary bastion in the night, was graced by the presence of a figure. A sentinel perched upon a rocking chair. A peculiar sight, one that ignited curiosity and a trace of trepidation. A delicate shiver crept through my spine as I approached, the feeble light of my car casting long shadows across the scene. With cautious steps, I ventured closer, my gaze locking onto the enigmatic figure. Yet, as the truth unfurled, the veneer of reality yielded to the macabre. The figure, a spectral mockery of humanity, rocked with an eerie rhythm, its motions a dance choreographed by the relentless wind. A tableau right out of the realm of nightmares, a creation born of shadows and whispers. A sign, tethered to this grotesque puppet, beckoned me toward the unknown. A cryptic command that tugged at the fringes of my resolve. An impulse surged within me, urging me to knock on the door, which was a call of duty in the face of this perplexing enigma. My knuckles rapped against the portal, my heart echoing the cadence of my inquiries. Silence, an inscrutable silence, greeted my entreaty, a hollow void that spoke volumes. A final knock, a plea that echoed through the storm-wrought night, bore no fruit. Yet, fate was not content with mere silence. A furtive movement, a flicker at the edge of my perception, unfurled like a raven's wing in the night. A face, a fleeting visage, peeked from the veil of darkness, a phantom emerging from the labyrinthine corridors of obscurity. Words, a whisper caught on the wind, beckoned me forth with an invitation cloaked in ambiguity. In the midst of this perplexing dance, uncertainty gripped my heart like a vice. The pieces of the puzzle refused to coalesce, an intricate tapestry woven from threads of curiosity and caution. As I stood at the precipice of decision, a resounding crash pierced the veil of hesitation, shattering my back window and sending a cascade of fragments into the abyss. With the remnants of shattered glass still cascading, I seized the wheel and steered my vehicle toward escape. The pedal met the floor, propelling me away from the shadows that had ensnared me. It was a rush of adrenaline that surged through my veins, binding me to the realm of the living. As I hurtled through the storm, the enigmatic encounter retreated into the recesses of the night, a puzzle forever entwined with the labyrinthine corridors of memory. time unraveled its tapestry, revealing the stitches that bound this tale to the chronicles of my life. The truth remained veiled, an enigma that danced at the periphery of comprehension. An encounter that had slipped through the cracks of explanation, leaving me to grapple with the lingering tendrils of uncertainty. For beneath the cloak of obscurity, mysteries lay dormant, waiting to be unearthed. A cryptic echo of a storm-wrought night that still whispered secrets to the winds. Let's go to story number 2. Story 2. The Mysterious Neighbor and the Midnight Stroll. I've always known that odd neighbors exist in every neighborhood, but there was one particular guy who lived down the block when I was growing up who gave me the chills. As a kid, we all shared stories about him, and while I tried to dismiss them as exaggerations, some of the things I witnessed made it hard to ignore. This man's peculiar behavior included flying kites in the dead of night, watching people pass by, and other inexplicable actions that set my nerves on edge. One stormy night, during a heavy downpour and fierce lightning, I received a pizza delivery order to an unfamiliar address. The situation quickly turned eerie as I approached the dark house with a cryptic figure on the porch and bizarre instructions to bring the pizza around back. Suspense built up as I knocked on the door, only to receive no answer. Then, a chilling hand tapped on the side of the house, leading me to a series of unsettling events involving strangers and a frantic escape. As a teenager, I often found myself cruising along the narrow country roads near my rural home. These roads were more like winding paths through thick woods, where the thought of turning around was an arduous task. One night, I decided to venture down an unfamiliar road during a hot summer night after a disagreement with a friend. Little did I know that this simple decision would lead me to a heart-pounding encounter that still haunts me to this day. The eerie setting was accentuated by an overcast sky and a fast-moving full moon, casting eerie shadows across the deserted landscape. The abandoned building, normally inconspicuous, emitted an otherworldly glow from its windows, hinting at a sinister presence within. My heart raced as I witnessed movement inside the building, only for it to be followed by a blood-curdling scream that froze me in my tracks suddenly. 2 intimidating figures emerged, sending me fleeing for my life down the dark country road. Every step was fueled by adrenaline and fear, and my mind raced with thoughts of the horrifying encounter. I refused to look back, fearing the menacing figures were right behind me. I ran until exhaustion took over, collapsing in my own yard, trembling and nauseous. The nightmarish ordeal left an indelible mark on my psyche, forever altering my perception of those desolate country roads. In the end, these unsettling experiences taught me that reality can often be stranger and more chilling than any fiction. As I reflect on those nights, I can't help but shiver at the memory of the mysterious neighbor, the eerie encounter on the country road, and the lingering sense of unease they left behind. Are you ready for story number 3? Story 3. Haunting Shadows and the Midnight Pursuit. Growing up in a low-income area meant that unusual sights and characters were part of everyday life. However, there was one particular night that still sends shivers down my spine. A gathering of friends, cheap beer, and teenage recklessness led to a drunken quarrel that ended with me storming out of my friend Brandon's house late at night. Little did I know, this decision would plunge me into a terrifying experience that defied all reason. Walking along the gravel road, the wind howled through the trees, creating an eerie symphony that set me on edge. As I trudged through the darkness, an abandoned shack emerged from the shadows, its solitary window glowing with an unnatural light. Instinctively, I veered to the far side of the road, trying to remain inconspicuous while my heart pounded in my chest. The ominous building held an inexplicable draw, and despite my fear, curiosity got the better of me. I crept closer, peering into the window, and my blood turned to ice as I saw movement inside. Before I could process what I had witnessed, a spine-chilling scream pierced the night, making my skin crawl. Panic surged through me as I spotted 2 intimidating figures emerging from the shack, their eyes fixed on me. Without a second thought, I bolted, adrenaline propelling me down the road like a frightened animal. My breath came in ragged gasps, and I refused to look back, dreading the sight of the ominous strangers chasing me. I sprinted until exhaustion threatened to consume me, only stopping when I reached the sanctuary of my own yard. The horrors of that night lingered, etching their mark into my memory forever. In the aftermath, I found myself haunted by questions that remain unanswered. What was the source of that mysterious light? Who were those terrifying figures, and what were they doing in that abandoned shack? The enigma of that night continued to gnaw at me, leaving me with a persistent sense of unease. As time went on, I often retraced my steps during the day, gazing at the abandoned shack from a distance. Despite my curiosity, fear kept me from venturing too close, the memories of that fateful night still fresh in my mind. It was a chilling reminder that sometimes, the darkness holds secrets we're better off not uncovering. Looking back, these unsettling experiences served as a stark reminder that there are mysteries lurking in the shadows, waiting to challenge our perceptions of reality. The mysterious neighbor, the haunting encounter on the country road, and the enigma of the abandoned shack have become indelible parts of my past, forever reminding me that the world can be a far stranger and more unsettling place than we ever imagined.